Hello everyone, welcome to episode 4 of our fully booked podcast from Ormiston New Academy. You're here with me, Mrs. Spittle.
Me, Mrs. Smedley-Baugh.
And me, Mr. Cooling.
Woo!
Special guest,
VIP.
Mr. Cooling, as promised.
Wow,
Here he is.
welcome Mr. Cooling. So, JSB, what have you been up to since the last podcast, please?
Well, the first plastic play that we plugged in the last one was actually last night, and I have to give a shout out to Charlie and Aviana. They were absolutely brilliant. They were so professional, and we had a really lovely time. And I went to the prom. That was delightful. The food was really good.
Was it?
The prom was lovely, but the food was really good.
Led by
Food
the
is
food.
really good. at
Yeah,
the
it was
prom,
really good
to be
food.
fair.
The fish pakauras were really special.
Were they?
Yeah, I really enjoyed them.
Worth
There was
it.
some
As was the
beautiful
chicken,
dresses.
but then I'm a massive chicken fan.
I was the fish pakora girl. It was very good. Everyone was beautifully dressed. It was a lovely evening.
They always are beautifully dressed.
What have you
Beautiful
done?
place as well. I can't really think of anything profound that I've been up to, but I've been very happy with that situation.
that's-
Didn't you
That's
use
that
the
then.
word just existing?
I feel like I've just been existing and working.
Sometimes it's cool to just exist, though,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I've
I
just
suppose
been
if your
here.
existence is a happy one,
I'm
then
very,
you can just
it's-
exist.
Yeah, very happy existence. Very,
I think
very
I need
happy
a week
existence.
next week of just existing because this week has been a lot.
You've been very busy bee
I've
this
been a
week.
very busy bee.
Yes.
I've been harvesting my pollen and spreading the joy.
What about yourself, Mr. Cooling? How's your week
I've
been?
been to London, and I've
You
been,
did go to London last week.
I had to make quite a few decisions this week. You know, we're going to talk about control later, aren't we? But
Yeah.
I went to London, which is where I listened to the last fully booked episode on my headphones and laughing out loud to the extent that people give me weird looks.
Was this on the train?
On the train. No, quite on the train. I'm
You were
actually
that
laughing
person
out
on the
loud
train?
at you two.
How
and
you
I-
weren't in the quiet carriage?
No. And at the end, then somebody come over and told me off
Oh,
for being loud. Can you believe that?
That's a bit awkward.
I was somewhat offended at that.
you
because
were alone, so they
I was
possibly
just-
thought that you weren't okay.
But no, I was very entertained by the last fully booked podcast, and at that, whilst I was in London, I had to make the decision, which everybody will know about schools finishing on the 18th of July for the students, because we are having our wonderful new extension built in the
That's
canteen.
exciting.
So that's not the safest thing to be doing.
Possibly
and so
not.
students, which I'm sure they're very sad about.
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
Are going to be finishing a little earlier than other schools this year. So
Heartbroken.
yes, so big things have happened to me since the last podcast.
It's fun and exciting.
I think so.
The extra
trip
day
to
off
London.
is extra fun and exciting.
Well, that obviously, that was a very difficult decision for me to come to because I don't want anybody to be missing not 1 second of their education. But the safety of everybody is my first priority. So.
And I mean, that does mean that
Safety
Sister
first.
Act is now 2 days earlier. So for anyone who wants to come and watch it, it will be on Monday the 17th. Casual
Wait,
plug.
did you say 2 days earlier on Monday the 17th?
2 days earlier.
Wow,
On
okay.
Monday the 17th.
Great.
Got to get a casual plug in there.
Indeed. And it's a shame that you can't see JSB at this minute because she's dressed.
I am dressed
Yeah.
like a woman of the Lord in my nun's habit,
Like she should be in a nunnery.
in a nunnery.
Yes.
May the Lord
In a
bless
convent.
you and keep you.
I once found out that I had a nut allergy in a convent.
That's unfortunate.
Wow, there's a
I
story.
had a few tangos at the time, and drunk a few orange tangos, and then ate a chocolate in a convent, and found out that I had had anaphylactic shock and ended up in hospital.
I almost killed you last Christmas.
You did.
Oh my goodness.
Praline and cranberry nutlog at Bake Off. That was me.
So if anybody, I shouldn't really say this because I served 930.
Please avoid Mr.
children.
Cooling with any of your nut-based
But
snacks.
no, nuts are generally fine. It's specific. It's
That was the nut
Brazil
mix.
nuts.
Yeah, sorry
Brazil
about
nuts
that.
kill me.
There was every nut
So if
in there.
anybody wanted to kill me, they now know how on your podcast.
I like chocolate Brazil nuts, but please don't bring them into the academy.
No, don't bring them in because I will die. I will actually die.
You'll be glad to know I didn't kill Mr. Cooling last Christmas, and in fact, he's still here to tell the tale. It was
And
actually Miss Wilkes.
We've
Miss
all
Wilkes
had
handed it, yeah.
EpiPen training,
We have
have we
EpiPen
not?
training.
You're in safe hands.
And also the fact that we're talking about Brazil chocolate nuts. Know what we're talking about?
Brazil nuts. Chocolate Brazil nuts.
Yes, and that links with one of the 3 themes.
It
of
does.
today.
We haven't announced our
It's
3
as
C's.
if
No,
I'm
the
running
3
the show
Cs.
We
here.
got distracted.
We did.
So, this week's podcast evolves around 3 C's, which were picked by the 4th C, which is Mr. Cooling. Double C, actually. So this week's theme is control, creativity and confectionery. 3 words that you wouldn't expect to hear together.
What a
What a
menagerie
mix.
of
Like a
words.
nut mix without the Brazil nuts.
Menagerie. Is
I know
one of my favourite.
It's
words.
animals,
What's
isn't it?
Menagerie, I think, is it a cat? No, it's not a cat. What's your favourite word?
I like the word clock. I like the sound of clock.
I like perturbed.
She always uses perturbed.
I am oft perturbed.
I like archipelago.
You would.
That's a great word.
Archipelago. I mean, you just want to go to an archipelago, don't you?
Archipelago.
I
Or
have a
onomatopoeia.
confection to
Onomatopoeia is
make.
a good word.
I don't actually know what an archipelago is.
It's a secluded island of its own. Or plinth is a good word.
Plinth is a
Plinth's a
great
good
word.
word.
Now that I'm hearing them, I need to choose a better
Yours
word.
is
Clock.
rubbish. Clock.
Yeah, but I think it was clock from primary school.
But you're much
Right.
older now.
Yeah, I
Surely
know.
you like
but
an adult
yeah.
word.
Mr. Spittles, everyone who wants to know his favourite word is lunch.
You two are a bit basic.
Lunch. Simple conversations, yeah.
You all just missed my joke, by the way. I did say
Which
that I had
one?
a confection to make.
Oh dear me! Oh my goodness me!
Jem, wake me up before
This
you
is
cocoa.
terrible. Oh my goodness! Have you been listening to any audiobooks?
I listen. Well, the podcast I'm listening to at present is actually a true crime one. So unfortunately, age-wise, I can't actually recommend it, but it's very good. I listen to 30 minutes on the way into work every day, and then it's like 5 parts long, so it's very suspenseful. It's very exciting.
Did you know, everyone, listeners, that JSB used to be a bookworm, but now she discovered books on tape, so she's now a tapeworm.
Oh,
no!
good.
Oh
Very
no!
good.
And I have a question for you, Mr. Coolan,
Do
that
you want to
you
know
may
what
know.
I'm listening, reading to?
What are you-
reading to?
Reading
Listening
to?
Reading to?
Yeah.
Listening to?
Would you like to tell us?
Well, I do multiple access points to a book. So I will buy the book. I will get it on audiobook because I have like an Audible account, so it's free effectively. And also I'll get it on Kindle, and I look around for the same books because if I can listen to it, read it, and it just goes into my head. So I'm listening to Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday, who's a Stoic philosopher, and it's talking about the importance of control. Oh, look what I did there.
Ooh.
Eh? That is a
Very nice,
professional
nice link.
segue there, isn't it? And it talks about how discipline makes you free, which is a really interesting idea, and how, like discipline is necessary if you want to get to where you want to get to. So it's fascinating, yes.
I agree with that because, yeah, it's a little bit Orwellian though, isn't it, when you think about control leads to freedom, but it does in certain aspects, doesn't it?
And yet, in Orwell's books, control is always a bad thing.
Yeah, it's always oppression,
Whereas
isn't it?
I am,
1994.
if I could have T-shirts made of me, I would have control on a T-shirt because, as a principle, I love control, but and I think it's a really good thing. But also, self-control is a really cool thing.
That links to
Mixing
my
my drink,
text
then.
about control,
Go on
which
then.
is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I think it's pronounced Byrne, isn't it? It's not Byrne. And that's about taking control of your own emotions and taking control of your own mind and what you think and how that impacts your day to day. And it's a bit complicated and it's far broader than what I'm going to sum it up as, but it's about taking control of the path of your thoughts. So if you're having a really negative day and everything's going wrong, it's about controlling that and swapping to a positive mindset. So one of the things she says is that your feelings are your greatest tools to help you create your life, and how we as humans, a lot of what we do or don't do is in fact determined about how we feel about it, and that comes down to our control. We can feel positively about a situation or negatively, and that can change how we perceive it and what the outcome is.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
Confectionery.
No, Ted Lasso.
Oh, I love Ted Lasso.
Reminds me of Ted Lasso.
I love Ted
The
Lasso.
thing about Ted Lasso is that it is relentlessly and unapologetically positive.
Yes.
I love it.
And that is such a unique thing in modern day culture for a show that is entertaining. I mean, relatively adult. I've got to say that as well.
Oh, yeah.
But he is relentlessly positive. And that, I think that's unique. I can't think of anything else that is that positive.
I also think it's really clever how it uses sport tackle multiple different issues within it and uses something that's accessible. I know a lot of our kids watch it.
Do that.
Yeah, loads of our kids watch Ted Lasso. I think it's brilliant.
And I do.
I love Ted.
I think that with regard to control, so obviously there's the obvious thing to talk about, which is dystopian fiction, and I absolutely love dystopian fiction.
It scares me.
Like, does it?
Yeah.
But you are
don't like reading
quite
about-
wet sometimes.
You
Yeah,
are
I am.
unicorns and rainbows.
Yeah. I don't like I don't like post-apocalyptic things either.
Really?
They frighten me.
What? You don't like zombies.
I don't
we
like
know
zombies.
My
No.
son is obsessed with the zombie
that. I love
apocalypse.
zombies.
Oh no.
Do you?
I like bees.
But I like Walking Dead.
I like bees and flowers.
So obviously you've got the big hitters like 1984
Yeah.
by Orwell and like Brave New World,
Brave New World.
by Huxley. But then you've got like more contemporary ones like The Gift, which is like a really contemporary book. Have you read The Gift?
I'm not sure. I
So
definitely have it.
That's about like a female utopia where women become the dominant gender and they learn to control men through pain. They get something. Effectively, it's like a lightning bolt that they can control men with. And then what happens when this evolves into females, they start using it to bring men under control, and the whole of the world, the whole of every society becomes a matriarchy, not a patriarchy, which is a very interesting book to read.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
And then you also have Ian M. Banks's dystopians, but I don't know whether there's a word for this because they are positive dystopias. They are utopias, but they are science fiction. So Ian Banks, notice the difference between Ian M. Banks and Ian Banks. Ian Banks wrote things like The Crow... Oh, goodness me. The Crow House, I think it's called, and The Wasp Factory. So that's a very famous book that he wrote, which is very dark and
I
horrible.
don't like wasps.
But then when he puts an M into his name, he's now dead. He wrote a series of dystopian, utopian science fiction books, and they are all positive
That's
utopias
Sounds a
in
bit William
the
Blake,
future.
doesn't it?
So there is
Clever.
there is
Yes, songs
they're
of,
called the culture
innocence
books,
and
Yeah.
experience.
and the culture exists to make the universe a better place. And that sounds like really like unicorny and lovely. It's not. It's quite interesting how he does it.
I like eco-fiction, which is sort of dystopian.
About recycling.
No, it's a very
About
specific
plants
subgenre.
communicating with each other.
So
Oh,
eco-fiction
that
is
interesting.
yeah. So it's fiction with a what's the
Like
word?
Day of the Triffids.
Sort of, but eco-fiction has scientific fact underpinning the fiction. So it's effective. There's something called Silent World. There's the bees. There's Overstory. There's quite a few authors that are using scientific fact to underpin fiction to teach people about what we're doing to the world.
Do you know about the philosophy that is Gaia philosophy? So Gaia...
As in Mother Earth.
Yes,
the centre of...
so the concept of Gaia is Gaia. The concept of Gaia is that I can't remember the gentleman's name that wrote the philosophy. Is that we've abused the planet so much that Gaia becomes a consciousness. The Earth becomes a consciousness and starts revolting against humans, like literally hitting us back for
I think
what
you'd
for
like
the abuse.
eco-fiction. I'm going to lend you some eco-fiction.
I'm okay about reading about plants. and
It's not
trees.
about plants. They cleverly embed it into the story. It's very clever. Trust me. I'm going to give you a book.
humans.
It's
to be
very
honest.
good. It's very good.
I'm sure it
He's
is.
a very good author. Very clever.
Gaia's a fascinating idea.
Well, my whole play is about plastic and the
Nice
the
link.
abuse of the
Nice
earth.
self-promotion
The
there.
one that Charlie and Aviana are in. That is about the abuse of our earth and how we can't keep doing it. Goes all the way to 2032. Starts in the 80s and transitional about climate change.
Cool.
Goodness me.
I know. Okay, creativity then. I haven't actually written many notes on creativity because I just wanted to be creative and see where it went.
Oh, clever. Well, I mean, the podcast in its very nature
Of
is
course.
innately creative. We are creating right now.
We are creating art
We're
right now.
influencers. Hit the like button.
The reason why I suggested creativity is because I think that in our school it's quite a controlled environment, and that is what makes us different, and I'm a massive fan of that. So I like order and I like rules and things like that because it makes us safer and all of those kind of things. I also like control in terms of how lessons are and stuff like that. But the flip of that is that I love it when people are creative within that framework. Like, I think it's a real undervalued quality.
Organised creativity.
Yes. I love it when students take an idea and then show me something that is creative. I think it's such an undervalued skill that, like I was looking at Olivia in year 10. So she showed me this piece of work that she's done around mythology.
Slavic mythology.
And I was just absolutely blown away by it.
It's really interesting.
It's fascinating.
Olivia's distinction in speaking and listening was
okay.
on that of everything, wasn't it?
It's wonderful.
It was amazing.
Really, really wonderful. Some of the ideas. Like I'm bringing in next year that children are going to be able to wear kilts. Not any kilt. You want a kilt?
Yeah, I'd wear a kilt.
I'm deadly serious.
I would wear one.
Yes, you can wear
Thank
kilts,
you.
but we are developing almost a new kilt for people to wear. That was based as a result of a creative suggestion by a student. And I thought, yes, it's time for us to change now the wonderful uniform that we've got. So I love creativity because it marks you as being different, I think.
I love creativity. I'm a very creative person.
You are. You do very.
I'm always creating some sort of mess or chaos or something else around the academy. I'm always creating a disturbance for other people with whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm good at creating havoc. I like crocheting.
But people are threatened by creativity, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you think that might be, Miss Spittle?
Just the power of expression, and people are afraid because they want conformity.
People don't trust their own imaginations to be able to create
Yeah.
something. My dad is a wonderful painter. He's
He is.
incredibly talented and he could have done it professionally. But everything he's ever painted is either based it off of something that someone else has painted or he can carbon copy. He could be one of those people who fakes them and sells them for millions of pounds because he's scared that his own imagination won't create something as brilliant as what someone else has created.
That's madness, isn't it?
Whereas I'm the total opposite to my dad. My dad's like you. My dad likes order and he's very strict with his paints. He gets them all out and everything. Whereas I was the person who'd like throw some stuff at a canvas and see what happens. My dad gets stressed about that.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So, I've never been a head teacher before, and I chose to come to this school. And obviously, everybody knows about the history of the school and the wonderful things that we've done in the last 4 years.
Wonderful things we've done.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Wizard of No.
I had to be very creative in order to bring in some of the things that we've done. But everybody said that we couldn't do it. So, the 4-part lesson, for example, that doesn't exist in any other school.
Yes, we can do.
Oh, nice.
Oh dear.
Got it in there.
Nice. But people thought I was Brazil nut crazy for
Anaphylactic.
doing that stuff, right? But I think the 4-part lesson gives me control, but is actually a very creative idea, right? Now, I know Miss Spittle's about to do a perversion of the 4-part lesson, aren't you? But tweaks. There's nothing wrong with tweaks. But yeah.
The journey of our school has moved on from where the 4-part lesson
The
originally
train has
started.
left the station.
And it just needs to be adapted. Because we are so much more academic now.
And so creative.
And so much more creative.
Yeah.
Can we open a confectioner's?
Please.
You're just passing time to the confectionery.
I love confectionery.
Do you?
Oh, you eat.
I'm really bad. I don't eat sweets. I actually don't. Full stop. All the lovely kids who offer me sweets, I don't eat sweets.
Give this to me.
Yeah, I do. I give them to Miss Whitehouse. But I really, really, really love chocolate. All the kids know that there's Kit Kats hidden in my
She
drawer.
eats a multi-pack
and then
of Kit Kats
we'll
a
try
day.
and blag.
A day?
Not a day.
Yes, you
So
do.
I eat 2 Kit Kats a day. And then through pure habit, every day when I got home from school, my nan used to give me a Kinder Bueno and a packet of crisps. God love her, our Edna. I'm now 30 years old and I still get home and have the Kinder Bueno and the packet of crisps.
But do you? But my thing is fascist oranges.
I love an
Are
orange.
they different to normal?
Actually, sorry.
Eddie Izzard talks about this. You know the comedian Eddie
Well,
Izzard?
my husband likes Eddie Izzard.
So Eddie Izzard talks in one of his shows. He talks about how fruit is a weird concept because we buy it and then watch it rot.
I did
right?
that with the banana last week.
Oh, bananas have a sweet spot, don't they?
Yeah, I lost it.
They go
R.I.P.
bad.
the banana.
They go bad. You got to observe a banana. But he talks about fascist oranges. He says the best oranges are the big the big oranges, right? I don't know what
You just can't peel them now, can you?
what right
Use a
now.
knife.
Here's the thing. Yesterday, right, I was teaching, and the children were about to go on to break, and I had an orange with me, so they were about to go. So I bit into the orange in order to open it. What's the matter with you? They looked at me like I was a barbarian. Right?
Oh, just get a knife. Just slice it and pop it.
So I used to eat 2 oranges a day when I was a kid, right? And my mother used to, my very Welsh mother in Wales, right, would buy me big fascist oranges, wouldn't she? She would also talk like this every day, but unfortunately I've lost my Welsh accent, right? Now, fascist oranges are, but like, people were looking at me like I was a caveman with my orange yesterday.
Just biting into a whole cow leg.
Well, I don't know why you're laughing at me.
My
How
husband's
do you open
frightened
an
of
orange?
big fruit.
I'll
I'll
get
cut
a
it.
nail in.
Oh, but I don't have
I'm
the
a
little
bloke.
ones.
I don't
I'll
have
cut it in
nails.
half and then I like pop
With
the
a
skin
knife?
so that it comes out.
Yeah, but then you
Like
get
a
it.
pomegranate.
I mean, my nan used to peel an apple and then cut it strictly into the same
Oh, I can't
size
bite
slice,
an
which is
apple.
really impressive because she was blind. So to have the symmetrical apple slices, that's quite the feat.
Goodness.
Yeah, so I think that's why I cut fruit. But my husband is actually scared of large fruit. He only likes the small versions of things. So, like, he loves a cherry tomato, but he can't stand a big tomato. He likes a sweet clem, but he can't stand a big orange. He likes the small melons, but not the big melons.
Oh, I love a melon.
He doesn't like large fruit. He only likes small.
But he's married to you.
There's him, a big orange, whacking it on the side.
It's the
So
craziest fruit I've ever known.
Now it's a dystopian, fascist orange.
Fruit society.
Yeah. The fascist oranges are the best.
And I mean, the poor bananas, once they get to a certain level, they're just kicked out of society.
I get really bored of bananas.
Aren't they? They're put in the bin.
I'm not a fan.
But God's greatest fruit is obviously the mango.
Oh, I love a mango. I don't really like that much fruit, but I like
Passion fruit
mangoes
to
and I like
me.
strawberries.
Why?
Love a passion
Mango,
fruit.
strawberries,
I
raspberries.
love it.
Oh,
grapes
it's just...
every day.
Oh.
I like grapes. I like fruit.
I like a
Yeah.
green grape, I don't like a red grape.
I like green olives, but not the dark.
Oh, I like both olives.
You're not doing a very good job.
Oh, no, we're not.
Because we haven't talked about confectionery.
Okay, I have
we
some
haven't.
facts here.
Oh, goodness me.
2,000 years BC, the Egyptians, the first civilization, that created sweets.
God bless
With
them and
fruits and
everything
honey?
that came after them.
Did they put them into hieroglyphs? Is there a sweet hieroglyph?
There
I
must be, else they wouldn't know.
I've actually got
And then the
Egyptian
Aztecs.
earrings in today. They've got scarabs on.
Egyptian earrings.
Yeah, it's
and
because I knew they
a
made
nun's habit.
confectionery.
And then the Middle Ages, sweets were for the rich, and then doctors used sugars to create little pastels to make the taste of medicine. Help the medicine go down.
A spoon of sugar.
So there you
In
go.
the Middle Ages, they used to have cabbage as a condiment.
I love cabbage. I would have cabbage every day.
But cabbage, no, hold on a minute. Like, they use it like salt and pepper.
I'd be
Did
okay with that.
they?
I would
I don't know
sprinkle some
how they would
cabbage.
use it as salt and
Maybe
pepper.
if you dried it and then powdered it, it's got a very strong flavour.
Does
I mean,
it?
you are now residing in the West Midlands, and people around here drink cabbage water, including me
No,
and my dad.
they don't.
I love
the
cabbage
matter with
water. Oh,
What
so
on
good.
earth?
So good. Drain your cabbage, put the water in a cup, a bit of salt and pepper, absolutely
No.
banging. It's like vegetarian bovril.
No, it isn't.
I love cabbage water. My dad's cabbage water made it into that Boston Fittle cookbook up there. Our Tom's cabbage water. It's famous.
This is gross.
Trust me, try it one time. It's very good for you as well. 'Cause all
We're,
the
we're,
nutrients
we're
come from
flirting
cabbage.
around the
know.
subject, so come on, let's cut to it. Your favourite confectionery, Miss Smedley-Baugh?
Chocolate, Belgian chocolate shells. Either Gillian or Lidl's own, but not any
I
other
think
brand.
Gillian are just dreadful.
No,
They're
I don't want
awful
that.
things.
They make it.
Lidl's
no.
own are arguably
Gillian,
better
a
than
Brazil nut aficionado.
Yeah, everything's
That's
praline.
why I don't like
yeah,
them.
Yeah, it's full of they're praline, so there's nut in there. I really like praline. I like Buenos. I like anything praline based, but chocolate shells, absolute fave. I could just sit and eat a box of them, no problem.
She does as
I
well.
do. Sometimes I buy one on the way home from work to treat myself.
What about you, Miss?
I don't really like chocolate, but I really like the sourish
love
sweets.
sweets?
Yeah, I really love sour sweets. Sour
Really?
anything.
Do you eat
like
any
those cherry
sweet that's
things?
handed to you?
Sourer than that, more sour than that.
More so,
Yeah.
the ones with like sugar
Tangy.
sour.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
I had 5 of these. I had to get them off the internet from America, and they burn.
You and
the
Jay
inside of my
like the
mouth.
same sweets, don't you?
Yeah,
So
That's
you
why
like
you've always got
food
mouth
that
abscess.
hurts you?
yeah.
That's why she's always got mouth abscesses.
Goodness me.
What's
I
yours?
just love sour.
I presume it doesn't contain
Well.
nuts.
What's
White
a Welsh
chocolate.
sweet?
It's not Welsh. It's got nothing to do with being Welsh.
Welsh
thank you.
cake.
Welsh cakes.
In Wales, they don't have sweets.
They have
they
rock.
not?
Blackpool.
London now sells a lot of
They
rock.
only have lamb. Right, that's basically...
And dragons.
And dragons. Lamb and dragons.
My marriage certificate's Welsh. It's got a dragon on it because I got married in Wales.
You're not officially married then.
Why? It's got a dragon on it.
Wales is famous for false wedding
Oh,
certificates.
well.
dear.
Got a snazzy
So
certificate.
white chocolate.
White chocolate.
White chocolate. And in fact, a student changed my life last year because they gave me a Tony's chocolate Tony. Pink.
The ethical
reddish
one.
Right? And it's got white chocolate with popping candy in it.
Oh.
Raspberry popping
Oh, I hope
candy.
you never do a buffet because we can't agree
I
here.
wouldn't invite you anyway.
Thank you.
But so
You and Jake could have a buffet. White chocolate's his
white
favourite.
chocolate with raspberry in it. That's number one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Reese's. I'm a big,
Oh,
big
no.
Reese's
Oh,
fan.
no.
Big Reese's fan. But at the moment, it's Magnum cookie and cream with white chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, you and Jake could share a chocolate buffet. Luckily, we don't like the same things in our
You
house.
just have-
But you and Jake like the
you'd have
exact
praline.
same
I'd
things.
sack it all off for chicken any day of the week.
Any particular
Chicken,
type of
fascist
chicken?
oranges.
Yeah.
Chicken, fascist
Any
oranges.
particular
White
type
chocolate.
of chicken?
I'm just a big fan of the
I like
chicken.
buttermilk chicken a lot. Buttermilk fried chicken.
Like, if you want
I
to
love
be
fried
my
chicken.
friend, just
I don't eat
bring
meat.
chicken in various forms and I'll be really happy.
Yeah, I like chicken.
I haven't eaten chicken in years.
I had chicken not last night, the night before.
I once got invited to work in a chicken factory,
That was
Oh
nice.
my word.
but I turned them down.
That's probably for the best. Jake doesn't really like meat after many years in butchery.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't really eat much meat
Because it's too much like a busman's holiday.
Yeah, and you see too much. He's seen too much.
Do people know what a busman's
Oh,
holiday
yeah.
is?
These lot
No,
probably
I know
don't
you
know.
don't.
I know
a
what it
busman's
is.
holiday
Yeah,
is, but-
do you know?
I know what a busman's holiday is, but I'm guaranteeing you that our audience don't.
What's a busman's holiday then?
So a busman's holiday is basically, if you imagine that the busman takes everyone on holiday in his bus, when he goes on holiday in the bus, it feels exactly like he's at work.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Well explained.
not this week. What's
Okay.
next?
You haven't done your
Here we go.
normal thing.
I know we've missed
You've
out.
distracted us.
I know we've just.
I'd like to
No,
think
this
the
is
word
nice.
entertain could be used there.
We haven't got to just blurb it out yet.
No, but we will have a just
We
blurb
will
it out.
have-
So therefore, we're going to leave it as a mystery just blurb it out until we know who it is.
Yes.
How exciting.
And
We've lost control.
Oh,
Goodness
nice.
me. I forgot to apologise on Miss Everett Smith's behalf. I said that she was going to be on the last podcast and she wasn't, and she's very sorry.
She's very
So
sorry.
I've booked her in for Pride 2024.
She was a very busy woman. This time next year, featuring Miss
Yeah.
Everett Smith.
Yeah.
That's
We did
okay.
actually get to, what is it, 5 C's? Control creativity, confectionery, chicken,
Cooling.
cooling. The 5 C's. And I just want to end asking Mr. Cooling a question. What was Socrates' favourite thing to mould?
Mind.
Mould.
No, I know what you
Yeah.
said.
No, Plato.
Oh, that's dreadful.
Oh dear.
That's really dreadful. Spittle, you need to have a word with yourself.
I thought you'd like that one.
And she took the mick out of Socrates. Socrates is the greatest thinker that's ever existed.
This podcast really meant a lot to me.
Oh dear.
Blimey.
I think we're finished. Forever.
So
So,
we need to do our little teaser for next time.
yes.
Next time is going to be an exciting one. It's going to be like a celebration of the academic year. So
Yeah.
we're going to do all sorts,
The
all manner of
achievements
things.
of new.
The achievements of new 525,600 minutes in the life of Ormiston New Academy for you musical theatre fans. Little musical theatre reference there.
Thank you both.
That's all right.
Thank
Can
you.
I
pleasure.
just say thank you to you two, just
It's
to
been
end
a
on a
pleasure.
somewhat serious note. I'm incredibly proud of this school and everything that happens in it, but I love that you two are doing... I can't quite take you, Miss Smedley, seriously in a nun's outfit, but that I'm incredibly proud that we have our own little podcast and I am entertained by it every week, so I'm really grateful to both of you, so thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's okay, Mr. Cooling. Thank you for being our special guest this
Yeah,
week
thank
Very
you for your
welcome.
time.
and
I
for
hope I haven't
indulging our
outstayed my welcome.
podcast.
Thank you.
Never.
Okay.
It's time for for a little bit of lit.
Oh, are we doing that?
It's your
Still?
little
Oh,
bit of lit.
okay,
You
okay.
can't
I was
end
gonna
on a
leave
different
it
note.
I wanted to
No.
leave on a high.
Everyone
Okay.
needs the little bit of lit.
This is just one stanza taken from a poem written by Jennifer Healy, and it's titled Creativity to Invite New Energy. And it goes, create, create, I feel the winds of fury blowing through me. Even my bones were smiling. I hear my brains pulsing with desire like branches dancing in the breezes. Wildflowers are waving and the ocean blossoms with a new idea. Crazy and beautiful is how I want my life to feel.
Yay!
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.